looked at the shareable or you got the email and you got the notice of who you're going to be hearing from in this interview today, you were so thrilled, because I know this is someone that the entire field relies on to get information on the true benefits of each of our products, how you could kind of couple them together, how, like, what it really is doing within your body. And no one breaks it down more simple than this individual that we have today. So with that being said, I'd love to bring on one of our premier Pro 6s, Dr. Nancy Bryan.
Okay, I'm just chuckling because I am the master of technical difficulties. I can so relate. If there's a way for something to come unplugged or unattached or not mashed, or I'm terrible at technology. I'm the first to admit it. So you know what? Hey, Happy New Year to everyone. I'm so excited to be on the Success Mastery training this morning. And what I had talked with Skylar earlier, and we talked a little bit about what do we think people want to hear? Because the most important thing is that people are really learning from this. And so what I wanted to do, and I don't want to, I guess, go over so much of what Dr. Bryan Dixon, the science part that he's going to be talking about today with these bundles, because he's going to be getting that together shortly. But what I wanted to do was to address just real quick a couple of different things. And I know Skylar has a couple of questions for me that I'm going to let him go ahead and field. But, first and foremost, Happy New Year. And I'm glad everybody has all these wonderful goals. And the key here is that we don't quit them within the first 2 weeks.
Yes, that is definitely the key for sure. So I'm going to actually be going back to all of those goals that I saw. I'm going to be copying and pasting, and then we're going to be following up with every single person to make sure that, no, I'm just kidding. But it is important to stick to your goals and make sure that you achieve them. And, no better place to do it than here at LifeVantage. So let's go ahead and kick into the interview portion. So as Nancy was saying, we do kind of, we went back and forth, what does the field want to hear? What are a lot of the questions that Nancy actually gets from the field as being, kind of one of our science experts here at LifeVantage? And one of the key, or the number one questions that she actually gets was, what products, if I could only choose a certain amount of products, I can't take them all, because obviously everybody should be on every single one of our products, except for maybe the pet tandem. I don't know. You're the doctor. You might know better than me, but that one we might go ahead and leave off. However, what products, if I could only choose a select few, what products should the new person be on and why? So if you could enlighten us with that information, please go ahead and let us know what that answer is to what products a new person should be on and why.
Well, one of the biggest things that I think people have challenges with is that it's hard when they're first talking to someone that is going to be a customer. It's hard for those people to understand why we are so different. And so when they're taking a look at coming on board and starting all these different products, they don't see room in their budget for that yet. The reality is, once they get started and they're healthier and more motivated and all these different things can happen, then they can start to see the value. And so when I have people call and say, look, they absolutely 100% are really struggling with, they can do one or two things. What are you going to recommend? For me personally, it always has to start with our foundational NRF2. I mean, that is our foundation. That is what kicked off our company. And most importantly, that is the foundation in our body. We're talking about from the cell out, helping our bodies through systems, through organs, to operate the best they can be. So for sure, the NRF2. But I think the second or third product that surprised a lot of people is I will talk often about getting them started on the prebiotic. And that was one of the reasons I was so thrilled to see the bundles that we've put together today, because I think first and foremost, people get confused about the differences between a prebiotic and a probiotic. And I believe they're both important, but number one, we do have our own probiotics. Yes, we need to keep building those up again, and that's the purpose of our probio. But the prebiotic has some very specific reasons we put that product together. First and foremost, it has the soluble and insoluble types of fibers, 3 different ones. This is a very unique prebiotic. And you need to know and understand, if the gut isn't working, those tiny amounts of the NRF2 are not going to be absorbed and utilized properly. And we have studies that we have done. We know that our NRF2, those 5 ingredients, why we tell people you can't take each of them individually is we know that is absorbed through our digestive tract as a whole entity. That's why it's such a cool synergizer. So if our gut is not working properly, those aren't going to be as activating as they can be. That NRF2 isn't going to get all through as well as it should. So it's really important, and I'll start people on the prebiotic to help enhance their own. It helps double their own probiotics every, I think it's like every 20 or 30 minutes for like 5 hours. I mean, it's crazy. And more importantly, there's other functions with our prebiotic. What it does is it helps the communication. Not only does it have those fibers in it, which help us to be satiated, full, so we don't want to be as hungry, but it also has some things called fucoidins, which are from the brown seaweed. That helps keep other things more balanced in our digestive tract. It keeps the garden clean, so it helps with candida balance. That's important. We need some, but we don't need a lot of it. We don't want an overgrowth. And more importantly, on top of all of that, our prebiotic contains some amino acids that talk to our L cells. Now, who cares about L cells, right? Except the L cells talk to our brain, and they talk to our pancreas, and they tell our bodies how to utilize sugar and attach to insulins. There's lots of things that it does. And so if I'm going to have to just pick 1 or 2 to start, I like those 2. And then of course the probiotic, that one is so specific because we are going to be adding in the proper amounts of probiotic to the proper places. That's really important. And it also is going to help our immune system. So really, truly, that is that first bundle. I was so excited to see that, because for people just getting started, that's a great place to start to kick off our healthy new year.
Love it. I love it. Well, and I heard you say, obviously prebiotic and probiotic, and at least for me, I'm like, aren't those the same? What's the difference? And just trying to get that understanding. So if you could kind of explain the difference between the prebiotic and probiotic and why we need to take both.
Okay, so the prebiotic is a non-living source. All right, probiotics are actually living things, believe it or not. When they get into our system, that's why our product ProBio is so unique. Once it's getting activated and delivering those true probiotic living entities that live in our digestive tract and help our bodies do work that we can't do by ourselves. And the prebiotic is all the food entities that it needs so that it operates our metabolism properly. So think of it as the prebiotic is the food for the probiotic, and both of them are really important because the probiotics need to eat, and we don't always have the best diets. We have a lot of processed foods and things that we're not getting properly fed probiotics, and that's the difference.
Perfect. Thank you. The last question that I have to say, as we've been talking about, we know it's the new year. It's 2021. It's where we're setting our new goals. So for those individuals, I know we talked about the new person and just getting them started on, the bare minimum of what they need if they may be, financially bound to just a certain amount and everything like that. However, let's go ahead and open things up a little bit more. For those individuals that their goal for 2021 is weight management, it's a healthy lifestyle, what are the go-to products or, the bundling products that you could throw together that would be the best beneficial for them with the weight management and with the healthy lifestyle, and why should they be on these products?
Well, again, we want it when our body operates properly through proper nutrition. That is the beginning foundation. Of course, we have to have the exercise and the strengthening through, maybe weights and different stretching exercises for our muscles. All of those things are really important.
Mhm.
So what I do is I look at some of these products we have as tools to really be able to enhance the work that we're doing. Because there's probably been a lot of people out there that go to the gym and they work out and they work out, and somehow still they have this little tire around the middle that just refuses to go away, right? And
Yep.
so, you know what, that is part of our aging process because all these pathways start slowing down. So what I like to do, and I love these bundles. The Fit bundle that they put together is really a unique answer for it because again, we're looking at the NRF2 as our foundational product to help every cell operate at its best, right? We're getting rid of the
Mhm.
trash out of the cell so we can function properly. More importantly, too, is that it's a master regulator for so many different things. But when you add to it the NAD, which is also in our bundle, the NAD Synergizer is such a phenomenal product in terms of weight management. Right now, in the last year or two, there's been a really, really, really huge focus on intermittent fasting and drastic caloric restriction. And there's some real health benefits to that because it helps reset our bodies. It kind of shocks it, if you will, and wakes it up. But you really should be under medical supervision for that because it has some dangers too. And I can tell you this too, it's not very much fun. I don't know about you, but I like to eat. And so not a lot of fun. But what if you have something like our NAD Synergizer that increases our sirtuin activity and resets the same way? That's the whole purpose of those intermittent fastings and caloric restriction is to help that sirtuin activity wake up again. And so
Mhm.
we're able to accomplish that with our NRF1 or NRF2 and our NAD to wake up our system to operate at its optimum. And then when you add to it the fat burn, oh my gosh, the fat burn might be one of my all-time favorite products because guess what? It is number one way safely to have our bodies break down fat. It's called lipolysis or lipolysis, however you want to say it. But basically, it breaks down fat for us to use as energy. And that's that little extra tool that we're going to need to help our body, the liver and the pancreas, start talking again with our gut and with our brain. And all of those things are really important. So, the thing I love best is that the fat burn has the ability to take um, parts of our fat and get rid of it and break it down so our body can utilize it better. And that's going to give us more energy on top of it. And when you have more energy and when your mental thought processes wake up, guess what? You're in a better mood to go reach those goals and to get out there. And our whey protein is exceptional. You've got to have good protein to boost yourself so you can be
Mhm.
rebuilding muscle. So it's really important from a perspective of having a protein available that you can trust and know is going to get you to where you need to go.